Malik here. Working hard. Currently at a manual college. Working in Boston. Slaving away for the man. Nah, just kidding. I like my job. It's fun. That's why I have 5 or 6 videos just waiting in my phone to upload, and I haven't uploaded a single one over the last, 2-3 weeks. Yeah. So, there's going to be a big drop. But, kind of new to Boston. I mean, I've lived in this area my whole life, but pretty new to Boston. And I gotta say, you can really, really see some things here. Especially in Chinatown. Holy God. I was in Chinatown today, and I don't know what led up to it, but all of a sudden, 2 dudes just started going at it. And I think one of the guys tried to steal from the other one, and he grabbed onto him, grabbed his arm, threw him down, started beating his face, into the pavement. He, very one-sided fight, stood up, grabbed his stuff, walked away, took the cops 10 whole minutes to get there. Now, mind you, I'm between 100 and 200 yards away, sitting in my car, the windows down, parked, waiting for my next pickup or delivery or whatever. And I'm sitting there, and I see in my rear view some tension-ridden body language, and I look over into the park. I can hear him yelling, and I couldn't quite hear it. Kind of sounded like, "Where's my money?" So, could have been a drug deal gone bad, could have been some guy robbing him, I don't know. Took cops 10 minutes to do anything about it. It happened in 45 seconds. And it was over, and the guy walked away, and he was gone. There were probably cameras in there, in the area, but who knows if they'll catch the guy. Did anyone jump in to defend this man? Despite the fact that he invoked whatever this wrath was from this other man? Did anyone jump in? No. No one even bothered to try to stop him. No. They just watched. The first thing people did was gasp. The second thing people did was take out their cell phones. Now, mind you, some of those people were calling the cops, but some of them were just filming. And I have no problem with filming, but not one person jumped in there. It wasn't until the man stopped beating the other man's face into the ground did somebody walk over and say, "Hey man, that's enough." Mind you, I'm a fair distance away. By the time it would have taken me to run over there, it would have already been over and the guy would have been gone. That's why I couldn't hear anything. They're screaming and yelling. I'm too far away to hear. But that was crazy. All they did was take out their phones. What's your phone gonna do, people? How about you stop the guy beating his face into the pavement, getting blood everywhere? There's children around. I'm recording this on a phone, so I'm going to observe the irony of this situation here, but people are just so glued to their phones these days. It's really startling. Every person that's walking by, this guy is on his phone, not even looking where he's going. I was at a crosswalk the other day, and it's not a crosswalk with a light on it for them to go or stop. But this college-age girl walked off of the sidewalk, walked into the crosswalk, 2 steps, 3 steps, and stopped. Dead in her tracks. And just stared down at her phone. Not texting, just staring at it. You know the look. The blank stare. Dead behind your eyes. She stood there. 45 seconds to a minute. Yeah, at least a minute. She stood there. She walked away. Back towards the curb. Turned around. Took 2 steps. Almost got to the curb. And then turned around again. And started walking back into the crosswalk. Mind you, she's not made eye contact with me this entire time. This is Commonwealth Avenue. This is a very, very, very busy street. And then she looked up finally, because I don't beep at people. There's no point. You're going to go when you go. So she finally looked up, and I gave her the, hey, what are you doing look? And she gave me the dirtiest look that I've received thus far driving in this city. It was insane. It was insane. You're standing in the middle of a crosswalk, and you're giving me the stink eye. What are you doing? Get your priorities straight. I could have just ran you over. Not even seen you. I stopped at the stop sign. But I could have gone, and she would have walked into the side of my car. People are crazy, man. So as I'm driving along today, I took a quick video of it earlier because I was driving, and I was at a stop sign, and I didn't want to keep recording while I was driving. Saw 2 Blackhawks. Now, mind you, I've been seeing military helicopters for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I've been working here for a month and a half. Hadn't seen them in the first couple weeks. And they always buzz over fairly low. Low enough that I can see into their windows. And it's loud. They're way lower than the news helicopters, and there are 3 or 4 news helicopters that fly around here on a regular basis. And they're distinctive. You know, the military ones are a little bulky. They have a very distinct shape to them. Especially the bigger, double-propellered troop transport ones. And they always buzz over. This person's got their brake lights on here. I swear, I'm not possessed by the devil. But, they always buzz over going in the same direction. Every time. And I always catch them at different times, but they're always going in the same direction, coming from the same spot, going to the same spot. Now today was different. There were 2, or so I thought. Right after I turned off the camera, moved up to the stop sign, I got a better vantage point, realized there were 3 of them. 3 of them flying in formation. And I can't even say they were flying in formation because they weren't moving. They were standing completely still. And then when they did move, finally, they moved in unison. They moved in formation, and they continued on. What are they doing? What are they practicing for? What are they training for? What are you... Come on, people. I know what you're training for. Crazy stories in the news, man. This Jade Helm. People don't know what to think about it. Some people think it's training for martial law. Some people think it's training for a war with Iran. Some people think it's both. Some people think it's dual training, where there's a war coming, and there is a war coming. For certain, there is a war coming. A world war. In fact, you can make the argument that it's already begun. Chinese troops landed in Yemen today. They're preparing for war. They very well might be preparing for martial law. What I really adhere to, the talking points I've heard that really ring true to me, really make sense to me in all the things I've observed and studied, is the Reconquista, the reconquering. Mexican extremist groups like La Raza, the Race, and La Mancha protest along the Texas border all the time against white people and against black people too, Chinese people. Basically, if you're not Hispanic, they don't think you belong there. Telling white people to go back to Europe. Some people who have been here 8, 9 generations in their family, telling them to go back to Europe. These people hate anyone who is not from Central America. They say death to Whitey all the time. And their maps for their plan for La Reconquista, the new country would be called Atlan. And it includes all of the states listed in Jade Helm. Now tell me, that is no coincidence. Just try. Tell me it's a coincidence. Come on, I dare you. Support your argument. There's no way. If you still believe in coincidence, my friend, you are not paying attention. This is not coincidence. They're preparing for a takeover. Why do you think Obama has opened the borders? And they keep talking about the new US IDs. But they're not just for the United States. They're for Canada. They're for Mexico. You know, General Petraeus is famously quoted saying, well, what's after America? Well, North America. And that's NAFTA. Passed 20 years ago. They want a North American Union with one currency, just like the European Union. That's why you have the Pacific treaties, the Atlantic treaties, the TTP. The TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. These are global treaties. We can't read these treaties. You know how the UN came in, the European Union came into existence? Economic treaties. Trade agreements. Buried inside those trade agreements was the euro. And what are we going to have, you wonder? We will have the Amero. A different currency, not the US dollar. Because, again, if you're not paying attention, if you don't have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mind to think, you don't know what's going on, this might come to a shock to you. But they want to create a new currency because the economy is going to collapse. So you have your economic collapse. You have your troops for Jade Helm ready for that economic collapse and ready for an invasion from the south. And they already say, they've admitted on mainstream media, on the holy television, ooh, the glowing box that tells you everything you need to know ever. They already say ISIS is in all 50 states, just waiting. They've already supposedly foiled 2 terrorist plots just this week. One of them blowing up that huge archway, killing a bunch of civilians. They apparently stopped a terrorist plot. Whether you buy that information or not, kind of a hard sell on that one. Because it could have been just someone they gassed up and provided a fake bomb to, and they could have had a patsy. Who the hell knows? It could have been a legitimate threat. For all I know, it was a legitimate threat. So you got ISIS in all 50 states. The borders are wide open. The economy is on the brink of destruction. Our currency is on the brink of destruction. You got the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa? I think it's South Africa. And then there's other ones too now, since that abbreviation was created, that are coming together to form a new trade agreement, to form a new currency. So there will be that currency, there will be the euro, and there will be the Amero. Now you have 3 world superpowers under 3 separate currencies. You are one step away from a new world order, my friends. And all of these people listen to the same puppet masters. Your George Soroses, your Rockefellers, your Rothschilds, the usual suspects, the Nazi collaborators, the globalists, the technocrats. They call themselves technocrats, people. They want you dead. They want you dead and destroyed. They want to corrupt you first. They want to lead you astray. They want to make you evil, and then they will kill you. Why? Because they worship the beast. Any person with internet access can know these things. The information is at your fingertips. Literally at your fingertips. At your fingertips. At your fingertips. Bohemian Grove. Look it up. Bohemian Grove is where they worship the beast. They have the cremation of care, the mock sacrifice, the effigy of a child burned on an altar beneath the feet of a 60, 70, 80-foot statue of Molech. Now, some people say he's an owl. Some people say he's a bull. Well, you could look at that statue and see both. They are burning their cares away. They are offering up a sacrifice to Satan. You can go through the theology and you can find the very, very short amount of steps between Molech and Satan. It's Satan worship. It's a combination of ancient Egyptian sex magic and ancient Druidic practices to worship the beast. And they want to sacrifice you to the beast. They don't care how you die. They just want you to die. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm thinking about. What the hell this Jade Helm operation is in preparation for. We'll see. In the meantime, keep watching those skies. Keep watching those alleyways. If you know what they say, if you see something, say something. If you see them running drills, record it. Take out your phone. You're on it constantly anyway. You might as well do something useful with it. Take a video. Post it on YouTube. Do something about it. Stop sitting there doing nothing. What am I doing? Oh, that's right. Political activist working to get the fluoride out of your water. You're welcome. This is Malik. Peace.